Hello students, Sairam. As you all know, your periodic tests are starting from 5th of January, and chapter number 9 and 12 are there in your syllabus for the exam. Then children, today we are going to revise chapter number 9, that is living organisms, their characteristics and habitat. In this chapter, we studied about the different types of surroundings, and there are different types of surroundings in different parts of our country. The mountains of Himalaya are cold places, and these mountains have many kinds of different animals and trees. The deserts of Rajasthan are very hot and dry. These deserts have very different types of plants and animals living in them. Then we have seen the coastal areas, which are very humid and have entirely different kinds of trees and animals from other habitats. Living things are found everywhere. Today we will discuss the living things and their characteristic in the first part of this video, and then their habitat and adaptation in the second part of this, not this video, next coming video. Then children, in this chapter we studied about the living things which are present around us. There are many living things and non-living things around us. Those things which need food, water and air for their survival are called as living things. All animals, including human beings, are living things. All plants and trees are also living things. Those things which do not need food, water and air for their survival are called as non-living things. For example, table, chair, stone, rocks, bulb are all non-living things. Living things are also called as organisms. Then next, we have seen the characteristic of living things. The following are the characteristics of living things. All living things have some common characteristics which make them different from the non-living things. Living things need food, air and water. Living things can grow. Living things can move by themselves. They can respond to the stimuli. Living things respire. Living things excrete. Living things can reproduce, and living things have a definite lifespan, after which they die. The first characteristic we studied is food. All living things need food to stay alive. They also need air, water for their survival, without which they will die. The plants make their own food by the process of photosynthesis, but animals obtain their food from other plants and animals. Non-living things do not need food, air and water. Then the next characteristic we have seen is growth. Growth means increase in size. All living things can grow. All living things grow and become bigger in size with the passing of time. For example, a seed grows and becomes a plant. Similarly, a baby grows and becomes an adult. When living things grow, they become taller and bigger in size. All living things grow from single cell. The growth in living things occur from single cell to form large number of cells. As living things grow, the number of cells in the body goes on increasing. Non-living things do not grow, hence they remain in their original size and shape for many years. They remain as it is. Example, rocks. Your next children, next characteristic we have seen is movement. Movement is one of the most important signs of a living of a life in an organism. All living things move by themselves. The animals and the plants move in ways. Animals can move from one place to another, or they can move their body parts. For example, a frog moves when it jumps, a bird moves when it flies in the sky, a fish moves when it swims in water. The plants are fixed in soil. So children, how plants are showing movement? As they are fixed in soil at one place, they cannot move like animals from place to place. The plants can move only some part of their body, such as leaves, flowers, shoots and roots. The plant part move towards the stimuli of sunlight, water or gravity. Example, leaves and flowers of sunflower plant bends towards the sun to face the sunlight. This movement of plant which move towards the light is known as phototropic movements. Non-living things cannot move by themselves. In some cases, some non-living things, they also appear to move, but the movement in non-living things is different from those of living things. Movement in non-living things is caused by some external forces, such as blowing of air, flowing of water or hot compressed air. Next children, as you have seen, clouds are moving. So you can just tell me that, teacher, no, clouds are non-living things and they are moving. How is this possible? Children, clouds move because of the wind blows. Logs of wood, which is a non-living thing, floats in the river because of the flow of the river water. Even some cars, buses, aeroplanes moves because of compressed air produced by the burning of fuel. Then children, next characteristic we have seen in living organism is to respond to the stimuli. All living things around us respond to the changes in the surrounding. The changes in the surrounding to which living things respond are called as stimulus. A living thing responds to the external stimuli like heat, light, touch, sound, smell, taste, water, and some chemicals. The response to such stimuli is usually in the form of some movement of the body parts. For example, if a person touches a hot object, he responds to this stimuli and he immediately pulls his hand away from the hot object. Similarly, if he moves suddenly from a dark place to a bright place, then our eyes shut themselves in response to the light. If you see your favorite food, your mouth starts watering in response to this stimuli caused by the sight and the smell of your favorite food, isn't it? Similarly, birds fly away when they hear a loud sound. In this, loud sound is a stimulus and birds respond by moving away to this stimuli. Some animals are attracted by light and goes towards light. For example, different flies flying around the street light. You might have observed this one. Even you might have observed some cockroaches, not all cockroaches. Cockroaches do not like light. They try to find such places where they find they are not exposed to the bright light. That's why at night when you switch on the lights in kitchen, you will find immediately the cockroaches are running. This is because of they don't want to come in exposure of light. Plants also respond to the changes surrounding them. In other words, we can say that plants also respond to the stimuli. Plants respond to the stimuli such as touch, sunlight, gravity, and water and chemicals. This is because this will become clear from the following example. Children, you might have heard about mimosa plant, which is also known as a sensitive plant or touch me not plant. Have you seen this plant? If you touch the leaves of this plant, then its leaves fold up themselves and droop. Here, the touch is the stimulus and drooping of leaves is the response. Here, children, the remaining characteristic of living organisms and their habitat we will study in the coming revision session. Till then, goodbye children. Thank you.